Good evening. My name is DeAndre King, and welcome to the Mr. King podcast. And I am here with Weston Larkin and Mason Snyder. Thank you for coming.
You are certainly welcome. I'm thankful for you inviting me. I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you. Okay. So, let's get down to business of what's going on in the real world. Okay? So, it has been said, and by quote, by Jada Pinkett Smith, that she hasn't been with Will Smith or living with him since 2016. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, you obviously gotta expect, him slapping Chris Rock. I mean, that's probably the reason. But this, it's relationships.
Yeah. Honestly, there's a difference between their personal relationships and then what you see like behind the screen, what she actually does. She's a good actor, I'll give her that. But with her personal marriage with Will Smith, it has been said it's been sloppy, it's been rough. But I don't know what their next step is. I don't know if they're going to go for a full divorce, because it seems like they haven't even been near each other, really. So it's like, what's the point what's the point, really?
I mean, her first true love was actually Tupac. So she still loves Tupac for some reason, even though she has a whole husband and kids. Don't forget about the kids. I don't know how they feel, but it's kind of like they're suffering too, by this interview. Do you have more intake on this, Mason?
I just want her to find a new man. That's all I care about. I'm not a huge fan of Will Smith. I mean, he kind of deserves the backlash from slapping Chris Rock. So
he was going through a lot,
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's Hollywood. I mean, he did it on live TV. I mean, it's kind of his fault. So,
I mean, he got cheated on by her wife.
All right, then I take. Gosh, I mean.
And got clowned for it for 2 years.
I mean, I still think it's his fault. I mean, he slapped Chris Rock.
I mean, he was all defending her, though.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
You can go either way. It depends on what point of view you're looking at.
Yeah. That's another thing, too, because, I'm not a huge Chris Rock or, a Will Smith fan, but it's I just don't want them to, keep going in this kind of, situation,
Yeah. Okay, question 2. Recently, Marvel, the guys from MCU, just fired their writers for the upcoming Daredevil Born Again because it didn't make sense towards the idea of the MCU. What are your thoughts and on that of Marvel's future?
I don't know, because what was the new movie that I watched on Disney? Was it Eternals or something that was made by Marvel?
Yeah, Eternals was made by Marvel.
I didn't like how it turned out. I mean, I wish the old Avengers Endgame, stuff like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of their movies have been not doing recently good.
Yeah, Eternals, I was actually really excited to see it. The trailers look really good, and then I saw the reviews, and I just stood away. I just took a step back, didn't stay away. I just stood away from it. But talking about Daredevil, I don't really... honestly, their new stuff that they're putting out on Disney Plus, their television series and the movies haven't been that good after Endgame. So I can see why the writers, that when they take a look at that script and they took a look at the writers, they're gonna say it doesn't make sense. They've fallen off. The whole Marvel, I believe, has fallen off after Endgame.
Well, I mean, you also got to understand too the writer's strike.
Yeah, the writer's strike probably had an effect on it, but I don't know too much about that. How's that carrying over? But I just feel like they've fallen off.
As I seen that Daredevil script, they only had a lawyer aspect towards it. He didn't even put on the suit yet till episode 4. That's not even good. And they only had like 2 action scenes in the whole season. And Marvel didn't like that too much, so they just fired all the writers and said, we're gonna start over again. They're gonna reborn themselves again.
Yeah.
And for Marvel's future, I don't know. That's whatever you guys say, I'll probably agree with it. And what are your thoughts on the new Loki season? How about that? That's good on Marvel's future, right? Have y'all seen it?
I haven't watched it.
I mean, it is. I just not a huge fan of it.
I love the first. I love the first season though. I just haven't gotten to the second season. I haven't started watching it. The first season I loved, so hopefully the second season's just as good, even better.
I mean, I'm too poor to afford it, so I mean, it doesn't matter for me. So unless I just
episode 3 is gonna come out at like 9:00, so if you want to check it out.
PM.
Yeah.
I'll be sleeping.
I don't know why you sleep so early.
I don't know, man.
Question 3. Y'all gonna love this one. Drake's son had a new song. He made a song by himself, and it went to Drake's new album this past Sunday. Have y'all heard it? And what do y'all think on it?
I haven't heard it at all.
I've heard snippets of it.
Yeah, on TikTok, actually. I mean, it's not bad, actually.
Honestly, I mean, hearing the song, he's very talented, I would say.
That man going places.
The man's going places. Or it could just be, who knows what's going on in post. You don't know. There's a lot. Drake's known to have a lot of auto-tune in his songs. So is Travis Scott. They both have a lot of auto-tune when they release their songs. So who knows? Maybe his 6-year-old son had a lot of auto-tune. Who knows? But overall, the quality, the song is actually really good. Who knows if he came up with the lyrics? I'm not sure if he did or he got help from Drake or anybody like that. But overall, the song is, I would say, very well done.
Okay.
But I just, I don't know how to feel about his 6-year-old son having his own song and putting it into his album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Mason, what do you think on it? On last thoughts?
I don't know, cause I'm not a.
You're just not a fan of anything, huh?
No, I'm like a Debbie Downer. I mean, I listened to snippets of it on TikTok. It's really good, but I also think he needs to be in a little bit more music, with his stepfather.
You got to start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. So question 4. Let's move on to this. Recently retired yet undefeated boxer Floyd Mayweather has sent a private jet with multiple supplies to Israel. What do y'all think on the country of Israel and the state it has been?
I mean, I don't want to go into World War III. I'll be honest.
Yeah, so I'm not going to try to go into too much detail just because it's a lot of politics and a lot of controversial.
Wait, hold on. What's the main detail? Why did they, start the war? Because I'm not.
There's no war right now. It's just
a bunch of attacks.
It's basically a terrorist attack.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is there's a bunch of terrorists taking women and children and I'm just gonna say executing them in brutal ways. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail about it.
That's why Biden's so pent up on Israel at the moment. He's trying to protect the kids and women.
Yeah, so it's a lot going on. Who knows if it could? There's been threats towards the United States. If we choose to retaliate, it could start a war. But hopefully we don't get into that situation. But as of right now, it's just terrorist attacks.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have some thoughts on it about the boxer sending some supplies to Israel?
I mean, it's his choice. I mean, it's his money. I mean, I'm glad he's, helping out. Like, wait, he's helping out, right?
Yeah, he's helping out.
Okay, yeah. As long as he's helping out, like for the families and stuff, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like the whole United States is helping out. So I don't think it's gonna officially start a war. It's just one man, trying to help out. So honestly, I think it's good for him. He's doing somewhat of a charity, I guess, if you want to call it like that. It's just helping out other other people around the world. So I think I think it builds character for him.
Okay, last question. As we are wrapping up this podcast, this lovely podcast, are there any life quotes you could think of, or any advice you can give to the fans at all?
Stay in school. Don't drop out.
Stay in school.
My dad always taught me that. I mean, because
stay in school. Why?
His one friend dropped out and he had to live on the streets. Yeah, and it was rough, but he has a good job now. So yeah, and don't go like straight to YouTube and be like one of those people.
Yeah, YouTube is a bad drug, man.
Yeah.
You can't just...
Unless you already have a big community behind your back, then I guess moving.
Yes,
YouTube.
sir. Yes, sir.
I'm with the FGC fighting game community, so let's just see what happens on that. But Weston, do you have any input on it?
I do have a quote that I've been told recently, or not recently, but more than enough times for it to stick with me. So, so there's a guy I work with. He's my manager. His name is Nick. So he always does this jokingly quote. He says, "Here for a good time, not a long time." Now people can take that out of context and say, "Oh, are you okay? Are you like you feeling down at all?" I don't take that as being like I don't take that as being a negative quote. I feel like I'm here to live my life as long as possible, as long as possible for me. Each day I want to do something that I feel good at. Like I want to do something to achieve me personally or educationally. Each day I want to do something to live my life more meaningful, I guess. So each day I want to do something to work at.
That's a good answer. Okay. All right. That is it for our time with Mason Snyder and Weston Larkin. Thank you both for being here in the Mr. King podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, fans, for listening. And I love you all.